Hey, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday show. It's June 3rd, 2010.
This week in Off the Press, it's Superhero Fashion Week. We talk about some new uniform designs for the upcoming movies.
And some special news about a special someone who may or may not be a certain captain of a Starship Enterprise.
Not that he's giving anything away or
Not
anything
at all.
like that.
I'm a little excited. I'm excited. Then we're going to From the Gutters on location this week. When Dave's reviewing his a comic that's near and dear to his heart, it's Thor.
In Tech Insight this week, we're talking some tablets, and we're also talking Google Chrome operating system actually coming out for real now.
And we're going to give you a sneak insight into the ongoing battles between Google and Microsoft. They can't stay away.
In Behind the Lens this week, we're talking about some professional audio gear for your DSLR video.
And then we're going to see some mad science, and we're talking about crazy robots again, and the zombie apocalypse.
But before we get started, we just want to let you know we're playing around with some new audio gear this week, so we might come off as a bit quiet, or we might come off as a bit crowded, you know.
Maybe there's some people in the background making noises. Maybe
Never
we
know.
sound like there's some kind of large hissing animal over there. We're trying out some new stuff.
Oh my god, a bear!
There goes
Or bears, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
So let us know if it sounds better, worse. Yeah.
How you like it. Either way, without further ado, it's time for Off the Press. It's Superhero Fashion Week!
Yay!
Or something.
Or something like that, yeah. So this week, pictures have been leaked/released of the costumes for Captain America and Thor.
Yep.
For the upcoming movies that are coming out next year and maybe the year after. So I'm going to start off with the Thor picture. This one is kind of unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed concept art. But just looking at the picture there, it goes pretty well with the leaked picture that was released about a month ago.
Yeah.
I think they're really trying to play up like the medieval future tech type thing.
Well, I think they're doing a pretty good job of making it, look like the real comic.
Yeah.
While adding, obviously, a little bit of style to it.
Like, it's not medieval like the current comics, but it's kind of a mix of the Ultimate Thor and current Thor with the chainmail and stuff. I kind of like it. I hope it kind of more or less stays this way. But I am interested in seeing the helmet, because there's no pictures with that yet.
Okay.
We'll see. And now Captain America. This has pretty much been confirmed. So this is concept art also, but it's confirmed, of his costume in the upcoming movie. This one I really like.
Yeah, I think it's a really well put together outfit. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how it translates into the real world, because obviously these are CG drawings.
Yeah, I can see this being mostly leather. Like
I would
that's a new
assume so.
jacket,
Yeah.
Which works. One thing that is really nitpicky, but on the helmet, there's no little wings, like on his cap in the comics and in the Ultimates, where he's wearing a real helmet. He's got little painted wings.
Maybe I don't know the Captain America storyline very well, but maybe it's something that they're going to work into. Like
Maybe.
by the end of the movie, he might get the wings or have some
Or-
reason for putting the wings on his helmet.
Yeah, or maybe there's concept art, they're just missing the wings.
Possibly.
Whatever. These two costumes, I'd really like to see UD replicas, I think, make motorcycle jackets of the cap jacket. That'd be really cool. Be really expensive, but really cool. Moving on. Also happening earlier this week, new Scott Pilgrim trailer.
We're going to play a little clip of it for you right now so you can get a taste of what you should go check out.
Sir Pilgrim! I'm Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend.
What? Wait, we're fighting over Ramona?
Didn't you get my email explaining the situation?
I skimmed it. What was that all about?
If we're gonna date, you may have to defeat my 7 evil exes.
So what you're saying is we are dating?
I guess.
Does that mean we can make out?
Sure.
So I'm really excited.
I'm so pumped.
I mean, I saw the first trailer and was excited off the first trailer, but the second trailer really plays up the relationship building and shows off a bunch of the evil ex-boyfriends and, the inclusion of the wording
And a lot of, I think 90% of what's in the trailer was actually in the first 5 books. Like, I know they changed the ending and meshed a couple of the fights together, for the movie, but
For the sake of keeping it into a reasonable time frame.
yeah, for the sake of not making it 4.5 hours long. But this trailer is really good. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Michael Cera, but I think this is the perfect character for him to play.
It fits in with all the characters he's played before.
Well, the characters Michael Cera plays is really just Michael Cera. He's like that in real life. He's not acting like that person. You meet him in real life, and he's weird and pauses when he talks and things like that. But I think this role really suits him. One, he looks like Scott Pilgrim.
A little bit,
as far as the actual comic book character is concerned. But I think his sort of timid geekiness is going to play well in this story. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, the fact that
The visuals look
Chris Evans and
good.
Jason Schwartzman are playing two of the evil ex-boyfriends is also awesome because they're both fantastic actors, in my opinion. So I'm really excited for it.
I'm also
August
really
13th
excited.
is the release date, so go see it. It's definitely going to be a theater movie because I think the effects and everything should be pretty
all the
spectacular.
prettiness and
Yeah, definitely.
staying with the comic book theme. You like Torchwood, right?
I do. I am a Torchwood fan.
All right. So John Barrowman and his sister are writing a Captain Jack Torchwood story.
Sort of like a side story?
Yeah, like a side story in the Torchwood comics. I'm not sure if this comic is going to be released in the Torchwood magazine or if it's just going to be released
As its own comic?
own comic.
Okay.
It's being illustrated by Tommy Lee Edwards, who recently did Turf by Jonathan Ross, the alien vampire 1920s story that I really liked. There's still not much word on plot or anything in this, but hey, it's written by John Barrowman and illustrated by a great artist, so...
If you like comics, you like Torchwood, check it out
We'll
when
probably
it
be talking
comes
about
out.
it on the show.
Yeah, when we know some more release information, we'll let you know.
And one last thing, congratulations to Sir Patrick Stewart, who was knighted yesterday. Awesome. So, Sir Jean-Luc Picard.
Is he the first knighted space captain?
Probably.
We'll get back to you on that
Well,
one.
I'm pretty sure he is, but hey, it's cool. It's geek, right?
So that wraps up Off the Press this week. We'll be going to Dave on location at the Silver Snail with his comic review.
Hi, I'm Dave, and this is From the Gutters. We're on location today at the Silver Snail comic book store here on Bank Street. I'm going to be reviewing today Thor Visionaries, Walter Simonson, Volume 1. That's this book here. Marvel has released a series of books called Visionaries. What they're doing is going back to older issues and talking about them, re-releasing them for current reading, so that everyone can get a bit of a catch-up on stuff that's happened previously. Now, they're called Visionaries because these are books that were stellar for their time. Some of them have not stood up as well. This one stands up not quite as well as the other ones, but it was written and illustrated by Walter Simonson. He revolutionized the Thor comic title and made it more of a true to its roots, more of a Viking kind of, and very powerful kind of book. Now, did I enjoy this book? Gracious me, yes. But having read it again just in the last couple of years, it doesn't quite stand up to the power that it had then. This book was written and illustrated by the same man. He clearly had a very clear vision of how he wanted the story to go. What we're talking about here is Surtur trying to wreak Ragnarok on Asgard. He's trying to take down the city of the gods, the Norse gods anyway. Absolutely very impressive. The storyline was large, and it took into it a bunch of little story elements as well. And Walt Simonson's artwork is, I think it could be said, influenced by Jack Kirby. It's very gritty, and before he was doing this, he worked on Star Wars and Conan. So he had a little bit of that epic feeling already. And he brought all of that epic flavor into Thor. I think this is probably the best thing that has ever happened to Thor. He redefined the whole title. Do I recommend this book? This book is what got me interested in comics as hardcore as I am today. I give this book an A. That's it from the gutters this week. My name's Dave, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight for the week. First up on the docket, Google says no to Windows. Google this week announced that they're starting to phase out all desktops in their infrastructure that has Windows on it. Oh God!
Yeah, it looks like they'll be moving to most likely Mac or possibly Linux.
Since it's Google, I would say you're probably going to look at like 50-50. I think it's probably a choice.
Yeah.
I would imagine a lot of developers would prefer to work on Linux. And or this might be a push to, hey, you guys might want to just use Chrome OS.
Yeah.
Google's own operating system. So
yeah, but I mean
their cited
remember-
reason was security vulnerability.
Okay. All right, fine. The only thing is, though, with moving to Chrome OS, though, I don't see much of the just remember
can't dev on Chrome
Yeah,
OS,
exactly.
I mean.
You can't do the dev. So I think if it was going to be 50-50, it would have to be Linux or Chrome.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a Linux box is probably what they're going to be going for, especially because of Android.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's the kind of people they are. But I mean, realistically, Mac is essentially Linux. They're not the same, but they're very similar in a lot of ways. Microsoft stabbed back at that, saying, well, okay, but everyone else still uses Windows, and we actually spend more time trying to make our product more secure than every other company who releases a similar product, which is true, because they have to.
Oh, they're under such scrutiny all the time.
But I mean, my Windows 7, to be fair, is fairly secure.
Yeah.
So is XP. Vista, I to be honest, I don't have enough experience with Vista Enterprise implementation.
It was a security nightmare.
But realistically, there's no huge problem with Windows. So I think Google is just kind of doing this to say, ha ha, suck it, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're just pulling the, of course, the old Apple stop of, Mac has no viruses, no spyware. Wrong. And Windows is just easy to pick on. Microsoft has just always been the easy one to pick on because it's the obvious choice. If you're going to be hacking something, you're more than likely hacking.
Because most people
Well,
have Windows.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
one thing to pick on the operating system. It's another thing for a giant corporation to ditch it, though. I
It's-
mean, that's
it's true.
that's more than just trying to make a statement. That's them honestly believing in something.
That's true. That's a
Yes and
good
no.
point.
It's Google.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I'm sure Apple has Windows machines in their offices.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, they have to be able to test on something.
Well, that's the thing is they have to still test Chrome on Windows. Chrome was developed exclusively for Windows originally.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems like it came out of nowhere, in my opinion. But, I mean, to be honest, they're probably mostly on Linux anyway, so just thought we'd put that out there for you. In continuing Google news, the Chrome OS we just talked about is supposed to hit shelves in the fall, apparently.
Now, by shelves, do we mean it's actually going to be a
It won't be for
purchase? Okay, so it will be a free operating system?
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's not a lot of news about it. I personally have no interest in it whatsoever. I'm a very Chrome OS. I think the Microsoft Vice President of Technology or of Software Development put it best. Chrome OS is a bet on the future. It's really not applicable to most people right now.
Yeah.
Because we're really used to the app ecosystem of native apps
Yep.
on mobile, like iPad, iPhone, Android, all native apps. And on the PC or Mac or Linux, we're really used to software applications, software platforms. We use the web. We're starting to get into web applications, but no one would be comfortable, I don't think, running exclusively web applications.
No, really, the whole thing though is like they said, they are appealing to the future. Because if you think about it, a lot of kids are using Twitter, Facebook, all the web applications. So they are kind of pandering to a younger crowd, I would say.
I think we'll see what happens when it hits stores. I'm guessing netbooks / tablets is their demographic.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would imagine.
We'll see. If they have that Chrome web store that we talked about a couple weeks ago, that might help them. I think it'll depend on developers and how good the web apps actually take over native application functionality. Skype news this week. Skype, a long time ago, said, oh yeah, we're going to give you 3G calling once Apple allowed it through their OS update. And finally this week it came out.
Oh, cool.
Now, I haven't. I've downloaded it, but I haven't.
I
yet to
downloaded
actually
it.
use
I called the Skype lady.
Okay.
That was fun.
Sound good?
She sounded like the Skype lady.
Well, that's good. However, in conjunction with that, Skype was rumoring that they were going to start charging for Skype-to-Skype calling, which was supposed to take place in the fall, but has now been supposedly pushed back to 2011.
With no defined date, just 2011.
Yeah. So I think Skype was under
Um,
pressure because, that's the big thing about Skype is free Skype to Skype
Now,
calling.
the only problem I have with that is why am I paying Skype?
True.
What did they do to enable 3G calling other than release a new version of their app? Nothing.
Yeah,
Especially not on an ongoing basis.
I think it's bad timing because I think ultimately whether they release the 3G ability or not, they probably would have started charging for Skype to Skype calling anyways.
But the Skype to Skype call charge will only apply to 3G calls,
Oh, will it?
not Wi-Fi
Yeah.
calls.
Oh, okay.
And
well,
it will not apply on the PC
yeah, right.
or Mac or Linux or any of their other platforms.
So could it be because of the?
I think it's carrier pressure.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it carriers?
I want to
because-
know if they're getting a cut of that. Like, if I'm going to start paying this money to Skype, I want to know where it's going because is Skype just making all that money?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't be. I'm not paying them for a service. I'm paying them for a product.
There was the controversy because a lot of carriers were saying we don't want people to be able to make free calls over another medium.
Well,
They're paying us
from-
for phone
Well,
usage.
from the carrier's perspective, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Business-wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
Now,
I mean, a consumer would of course jump on this.
I mean, I'm not too concerned about it because, to be completely honest, the only thing I go to Skype for is to make cheaper international calls. That's my big use for Skype. When I traveled, I used it to call home, and it cost me $5 to make 3 hours worth of phone calls back to Canada, or something around that range. So to me, the ability to enable 3G calling, I don't care about calling Skype computers at all. I don't use Skype as a communication tool outside of a cheaper way to phone places that would cost me a whole ton if I used it on my phone. So the fact that I already had to pay for that anyways, it doesn't really bother me they're going to start charging, but I can see why it would bother people
See,
that
I don't think
are
I would ever-
communicating with
yeah.
relatives or something that way.
I would never pay for that. I'm going to try. I use Skype occasionally over Wi-Fi
Yeah.
from my phone because it's way easier than using it on the PC.
Yeah.
Because half the time my microphone doesn't work. But anyway, for school and stuff, it's easier since we usually don't have, well, sometimes we have Wi-Fi, sometimes we don't. It's mixed situations. It's easier to Skype some people and then just sit on there for hours talking about homework or whatever,
Yeah.
and helping each other through stuff. Then sometimes it's easier than getting together. Or sometimes, but I don't want to pay for all those minutes.
Definitely.
So for that kind of thing, it's great. But I'm not going to pay out for that.
So I'm hoping the fact that they pushed it back might mean that they'll push
Just
it
kinda
back
push it
and
away.
then, everyone will forget about it. It'll just never happen.
We'll see. I really don't think the carriers should be that scared because realistically, how many people are going to use this? I mean, we're tech people, and we're not even that interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to call Quinn up, I'm still going to dial his number.
I mean, the only reason why I would get it is because I actually use the Skype while she's in Montreal.
yeah, it is
So
convenient.
I mean, that'd be the only reason
there
why I
are
would have
certain conveniences to it, but
Yeah.
whether or not it's a day-to-day call replacement, probably not.
it. No.
Moving on, little iPad news. Now, when the iPad came out, I gave up a big stink because it wouldn't charge on PC USB ports.
Oh,
Or some USB wall chargers.
really?
Yes. It would charge on a Mac, and it would charge on the provided wall charger, not on an iPhone charger,
Okay.
but
So
on
is
because it was a larger charger with a higher voltage.
I was saying it's using more voltage. then.
and a higher current,
Oh,
max
Jesus.
current.
Doesn't it use something like 9 volts or something like that?
Okay, I can't remember there's two specs for USB. It uses the higher one.
I was going to say it's using the
Um,
one that isn't used.
Yeah, that no one uses because you don't need it. So basically, what's happened is big motherboard manufacturers on the PC side have released BIOS updates.
Oh.
So Gigabyte, Asus, and MSI for sure have all these BIOS updates. So if you have an iPad and you have a PC and you want to be able to charge it like you should be able to on a USB port, you can go get a BIOS update that'll allow that.
You know, the thing that bugs me is that the next revision of the iPad is probably going to be using the 5
Yeah,
standard, the 5 volt
The
standard.
thing that bugs me is the fact that this had to happen at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, arguably, the stronger voltage would, in theory, charge faster, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, maybe they chose that as the socket type because they wanted, when you plugged it into the wall,
Well,
for it to charge.
But
in
you
a
cut
reasonable
out so
time.
many of your consumers because a lot of
No,
people
yeah, I
like to keep it
understand.
right
It
next
was
to-
probably one of
And
those.
I'm pretty sure if you have an older Mac,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it will not charge as fast.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's the decision they made. There might have been a valid engineering reason behind it. I mean, it is a very new battery.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's
So
true.
it is possible, but it's a little frustrating to see other companies have to come out and say, okay, finally we've released these patches so you can charge your iPad on somewhere where you should have been able to do it already.
Although at the same time, it's also interesting to see that other companies will actually go to those
But,
lengths.
but not really. How
Yeah.
many companies have crumpled to Apple?
Yeah.
Realistically, like
Not many.
If Apple says this, eventually everyone else will just kind of fall in line.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
Yeah. I mean, look at FireWire. It was so prominent on motherboards. It still kind of is. You still find it on most
You can
motherboards.
actually most PCs ship with more FireWire ports than most
Macs
Macs.
do.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
My desktop has 2. How many does your MacBook Pro have?
2. But granted, mine's a 400 and an 800.
Yeah. How many does your MacBook have?
1.
Bagel now, buddy.
Oh, really?
They're gone. So who knows? Smartphone news. We talked about HP buying Palm at great lengths. HP has kind of poked their head out and said, "Oh, by the way, we're still going to make smartphones.
Oh, okay.
You know, smartphones are cool."
However, they don't seem to care much about integrating Palm's WebOS in smartphones, from what I was seeing as headlines.
It was a very weird press release because they didn't really say a lot.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they're like, hey, we're in smartphones, but we don't really care about Palm for smartphones, which really seemed to
It's like,
be...
oh, we're definitely going to continue to make smartphones. So
I
what
wonder-
about the pre? We're definitely going to continue to make smartphones.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's because they're probably kind of sitting there going, maybe we can make it. It's HP, so I'm very, very much scorned by HP. So I think they're kind of doing this of doing the. Maybe they won't guess it. Maybe they won't know we're going to use a Palm.
Well, you heard they're putting WebOS on printers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're putting it on printers.
We joked about that.
Hey.
The,
HP, don't mess this up. Don't.
Quit.
Give me some damn phones with WebOS on them.
Lost cause.
More importantly, Palm was an awesome company. Palm pioneered touch. Whether you want to say Apple did or not,
Palm
you're
pioneered
wrong.
smartphones.
Palm was like the first
The first.
touch, and like really, they made the first smartphone with the trail, and they've had touch since their crappy little Palm things that I thought were awesome when I was a kid.
Granted, though, HP was also in the touch game in the beginning with the Jornada,
Oh,
which great. Okay,
that was
We're
that
gonna
was
move past this. We're gonna move
that
past
was
this.
that was definitely post Palm, but wow, HP just
there's a reason why you bought Palm now.
do something with it.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we're talking about Tabulex? Compu? There's a conference on right... Well, okay, it's over now, but it's called Computex. It's supposed to be about computer announcements. It's usually, lately, been like a bunch of case screws and like iPhone cases.
I love case screws.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And then this year, if you go past all those, to the back, like 40,000 tablets.
There's a room. It's just
With
it's
a mouse.
wall-to-wall tablets.
It's okay. So Microsoft came out, giant presence there. They're showing their new Windows Embedded 7, Windows
Which
7
we're both
embedded.
really excited about.
Basically, it runs on the ARM architecture. If you don't know what it is, it's a small,
okay.
lightweight, low-power smartphone.
It's what Apple likes to
processor.
use in their iPhones and iPads.
It's a mobile processor, more or less.
Yeah.
So they used to have Windows CE that ran on ARM. Now they've got this Windows 7 embedded. Now the reason I'm excited about that is because Windows 7 itself, the regular full-blown version, which people are still putting on tablets apparently, I don't think that's a great tablet OS.
No, it's not.
It's a great OS for the, usual point-and-click interface. It's a little too.
It's not receptive to touch.
There are some things in Windows 7 that are like, yeah, that's awesome for touch, but then there's certain things that just ruin it completely.
So
like
this-
closing applications,
Yeah.
switching between applications, like you can't hover with touch.
Yeah.
And hover's a huge thing in Windows 7.
Absolutely.
So when I saw the random UI they had, there's no set UI really with Windows Embedded 7. It's kind of like a core OS type thing.
Yeah.
But I imagine Windows and Intel and those guys will work together and put out something that'll look similar-ish on all the devices. So this is going to go on like mobile tablets, and it looks awesome because it's efficient. It has similar but not identical development. Microsoft came out and said they're going to make it development as easy as possible for this thing.
Okay.
And I believe right now, if you go to Microsoft's site, you can actually
You can get it,
download
yeah.
the operating system to play around with it
Yeah.
a bit.
I was gonna say they're
I don't know if
using
there's
it-
an emulator or how that works. I haven't played with it. It won't run native on your PC, so don't try to install it.
Yeah.
But good. I mean, they're putting it out there. They're encouraging development every way they can. I mean, I'm assuming their development tools are. There's usually a basic set of development tools available for free.
Well, remember they were for the for Phone 7. They were going to say we're going to use Silverlight as the basis of it. Do you think they're going to try and?
I
do that?
imagine
Silverlight, I know for a fact Silverlight is
Yeah.
a big thing for this operating
Which
system.
which makes sense. That's what Microsoft has put in their baskets, and there's nothing wrong with Silverlight. It's
No.
just not widely used. It's actually, from what I hear from developers that
It's a good system.
It's
to
a
I
work
hear it's
in.
quite robust.
It's if you don't ignore all your audience, hey, anytime you've ever had to watch video in Silverlight, throw that experience out the window. That's not what Silverlight's for. That's what people used it for when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's more like an Adobe Air kind of environment.
Yeah.
For apps. It's a development environment for applications.
And it's pretty slick.
There's going to be better
Contamination.
cross compatibility between like Phone 7
Oops.
and embedded and things like that. The only interesting thing I want to draw from this for now is Phone 7 is not going to be on tablets,
No.
which bums me out. I think that whole cross pane thing would be really cool.
But I think we'll probably see some UI similarities.
Similar, yeah, I think
probably.
so. Just really quick, so Intel was talking about some tablets and a smartphone coming out probably next year. Not too many details, but they look really cool. The tablet was fairly sizable for Intel, but Intel's making it themselves, and they're a great hardware manufacturer if you haven't heard of them. So looking forward to that. Asus released the ePad and the eTablet. Very confusing. The ePad it's running Windows 7. It's an ATA processor, I believe.
Okay.
It's fairly small, fairly lightweight. Looks pretty cool. If you want to try and go ahead and use Windows 7 on a tablet, maybe. I think I might be able to get away with it. I don't know if I'd like it. Pen. And then the eTablet is kind of looks like the Kindle.
Yeah, is it
Ooh.
using e-ink?
I'm not sure.
I had the impression it was.
It looked like it is touch. It's not running Windows 7. I think it's some kind of Linux derivative or something.
It's running on Android.
But really interesting to see those two products develop side by side
Yeah.
and kind of see where Asus takes us, because Asus has kind of always had little insights into the market.
Yeah.
With the whole hitting the netbook market first.
You know, I guess they'll see which one sells better, and then
Yeah,
Or,
go
and
from
maybe
there. Based
tailor
on
it,
future
like
products.
if some people are buying it more as an e-reader, tailor it to that compared to, and see where that goes. So pretty exciting. And there was a bunch of other Android tablets. There was tons, and it's too much to cover. I might do, no.
No.
As more exciting tablets actually come to market, we'll talk about them. So that was Tabulex. And that's all from Tech Insight this week. Coming up next, we're going behind the lens. All right, folks, welcome to Behind the Lens. As you can see, we've got a lot to show you today.
a lot of Canon.
Yeah, it is, which is really uncharacteristic.
Although we're not really talking about Canon today. Well, we'll start it off with the tip of the week, which is how to make your Canon lenses better. And that's orange juice. That's the secret to getting amazing pictures, is you just take a bit of orange juice and you just pour it on top of your 70 to 200, just like that. And then all your pictures are going to come out way better.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That's crazy.
That is crazy. But that's how you do a professional photographer works. And then when they get really bored, they just sort of drink out of their lens. Like that.
When it's a Canon.
When it's a Canon. Nikon, no. If you pour some orange juice on Nikon, that's just not good. So obviously what I have here is not a Canon lens, although it looks very much like a Canon 7200 f4. We talked about this a while back. This is the Canon lens mug. Pretty good replica of the Canon 7200 f4. They even include the little focusing rings, and these are actually really rubber. You can take them off, which is kind of cool if you need to clean it and stuff. But it's a nice little mug. Yeah, it does a good job. It's a really fun trick if you're hanging out with a bunch of photographers and just like drinking out of it. Because honestly, at a quick glance, this looks like a 7200. They've done a very good job. Red ring for the L series lenses, similar sort of color, that kind of stuff. They even put Canon on the top, so it looks like a Canon lens cap, sort of. You got the little clips where the cap would be, although they don't do anything.
And if that's a little too large for you, there's a smaller sized one, about this big.
Yeah, it's a replica of the 24 to 105, which is the lens that's on that camera right now. If you're more of a mug guy as opposed to a thermos person, so. You can pick them up for about $30 at Henry's. There's only a couple left, but I'm sure there'll be more in circulation right now. There's also been a rumor that there's a Nikon one coming out as well, although Nikon wants to charge about $50.
Which is
well, it's not made by Nikon, but
yeah, but okay, $30 for a mug is a stretch.
yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty cool mug. $50 for a mug is like, no, rich people don't even spend $50 on a mug.
So, I mean, if you know someone that really likes Canon, or you know someone who really hates Canon, because every time I use this, I like to say, it's the best thing a Canon lens can do, hold my liquids. But if you know someone that falls in either one of those categories, it might be a good birthday, Christmas gift, something like that. I mean, obviously it's not Christmas time yet, but either way, check it out. But what we really want to talk about today is not the 5D Mark II that's mounted on this camera,
That's right
but
here.
rather the giant block that's underneath it. So what this is the Beach Tech DXA 5DA. Now the 5D actually stands for 5D, like the camera, because you'll notice it fits pretty much the exact shape and depth and width.
It's
of
pretty
the 5D.
convenient on there, and actually, we had a mic on top before, but without the mic, it's actually not that awful to hold.
No.
With this on there.
Now, what is this device we're talking about? Obviously, there's been a big trend in SLRs these days to record video. And some of them have mic inputs, and if you happen to be lucky enough to have a mic input, you're one step ahead of the game, but you quickly run into problems, whereas, any really good professional mic
Won't plug in there.
No, because they like to use little 1/8" mini phone plug, which, is great for a couple of shotgun accessories and stuff like that, but isn't great if you want to run condenser microphones or other things like
Or
that.
you don't interview someone. Or
Absolutely. The other major problem you run into is when you're recording that audio, you have no way of hearing what it sounds like. You've got no monitoring capabilities with these cameras to be able to hear what kind of audio levels you're getting. So that's where this guy comes into play. So you can see here on the back, it's got a display screen that shows you the levels. This guy runs 2 XLRs as well as a mini phone, so you can still plug in standard accessories to it. What's really neat, if you're running 2 XLRs, it can be left and right. You can split it left and right for easier editing in post to be able to have a left channel, right channel audio to do your levels and such.
Which is also nice because that's also, if you don't want to think it's left and right, you can record 2 different audio sources and then mix them as stereo later.
Absolutely.
So if you have 2 different mics at the same time and you want to be able to adjust the volume levels individually, really nice to have that feature.
Now what we also tried out was we plugged 2 XLR inputs in as well as the mini phone, and it will take all 3 sources at once.
When it does that, there's only 2 volume controls in the back.
Yeah, so what happens is XLR left ends up on left, and XLR right is on right, and mini phone ends up on right. So you do have 2 things on one
But
channel.
realistically, if you want to do 2 mics and say an iPod or 2 mics and say a laptop, then you're good because you can just use that other devices. Usually if you're going mini phone, you're going to have a volume control on that device.
Or even if you're going to use a shotgun just to capture ambient sound to be able to enhance and make it easier to make cuts and things like that, it's a good option. So basically on the back you've got a level for both the left and
channels,
right. Usually you have to keep them cranked all the way up because most microphones are a little bit quiet going into the cameras anyways.
We should note this is not a preamp or an amplifier.
Correct. It's pass-through technology, so there's no amplification in here. It does run on a 9-volt battery. Now that 9-volt battery gives you your screen as well as your headphones out and the auto gain control, which I'll talk about in a second. However, if you happen to be out of batteries, it will still pass all the audio through, so it's really great if you're in the field, happen to notice your battery's dead. You're not going to have monitoring, but you can still use those microphones, which is nice to have. Now, one of the nice features is it does have an auto gain disable feature, which essentially, if your camera doesn't have manual mic level control, it's going to ramp up the sensitivity when it notices things are quiet. So what this feature does is send a continuous 20 hertz tone through to the camera, which you can easily knock out in post. To make sure that the mics never jack up the gain so that you don't get all kinds of weird pitchy vocals when you're recording.
Your camera doesn't mess up your audio, more or less.
Retails for $389. You can also pick up its bigger brother, which is phantom powered, for $489, $100 more. You give up the level screen, but you do get the phantom power, which is nice. I honestly believe it's an essential addition if you are serious about SLR video, because there's just no better way to be able to control, monitor, and use professional audio gear, and take a lot of the hassle out of post-production.
For sure, especially we were shooting some commercials a while back with 300S.
Yeah, the D300S.
And we were just using our mixer output straight into the camera, and we had level problems like you would not believe.
Yeah.
So to have this and have the level screen right on the back, I mean, you can tell if your mic's too close, if your mic's improperly positioned, if your volumes need to go up, things like that, before you go ahead and record. So it all works out, and it really, this is my favorite accessory we've ever reviewed because I'm an audio guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to do, this is really going to make SLR video a lot more attractive to a lot more people.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at like those big pro cameras for news shots or things like that, they got all this crap built in.
This is very good for photojournalists that want to be able to capture some on-location, spur-of-the-moment video, but still need to have the right tools to make sure everything's done professionally.
For sure.
So that wraps up Behind the Lens this week. If you're an SLR video, check this out. It's the Beachtech DXA 5DA.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Sean's Mad Science.
Science.
Today, joined with Scotty again,
No.
my comrade. As you can see, though, he's wearing one hat, and I am wearing 2 hats.
Muzzle guns!
And Quinn, behind the camera, is wearing no hats.
Oh.
So Scott, with your modest pile of hat, what do you think, or what do you have in your opinion for what we should talk about first?
Scary robots.
Okay. Well, as my comrade has, of course, said, scary robots. Not a surprise for this segment to have any kind of robot.
It's kind of a
scary or
theme.
other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, robots make great science fiction and make great mad science. This little robot is the Little Dog. And if anyone has listened to the show when we were DOS Time Live back in the day, I did bring up this other one called Big Dog, which is his bigger brother. And
I would like to point out that don't picture a dog.
No.
This looks like some kind of mutated gazelle with no head.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a great little thing. It's made by Boston Dynamics. And Big Dog is, of course, his larger brother. It's supposed to kind of act like a pack mule for sort of wartime situations. And it's the main technology with Big Dog is its ability to test its footing. So it can go up any kind of terrain because it can sense, just like we do, if there's gravel underfoot, if it's going to trip, if it's going to slide, if it's going to slip. And they didn't get this for Little Dog, which is about this big. Big
Much
Dog,
littler. Big Dog was big.
Big Dog's the size of this podium.
He's a big dog.
Very big dog.
Yeah.
But Little Dog, however, didn't have this ability, and they've now upgraded it, so it does. So there's a video in the show notes, the link in the show notes. I should really start just posting them into the show. But
you should check it out. It's quite eerie. He
It
kind of
is.
it looks like almost like a baby crawling. Or you know what? Okay, you know when cats see new things?
Yes.
And they're not really sure what they are, so
They
they
kinda-
tentatively put their feet down, and then when they that's solid, and then kind of move forward. That's what it looks like. It's
Yeah.
really eerie to see you roll into something without a head.
It's definitely something that's taking its first steps, like you said. It's very, very interesting. But give it a look. It's kind of creepy. Don't let it scare you. It's in your room, though.
It's mind blowing at the same time. You're like, technology's doing that.
Exactly.
Because it's a very human instinct, right? You're like, is this safe? Can I stand here? No.
But the thing is, it is easier on a larger robot because you've got more play. But this thing is about this big.
Yeah, and the legs are
maybe that.
maybe that long.
Yeah. And
So
this thing's able to jump over small obstacles. Of course, its height is the issue, but it can still jump, and it's very interesting.
Quite interesting. It's very aware of its
surroundings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it kind of adapts.
It's very
Which is
creepy.
leading to the robot apocalypse.
But at least it's not the zombie apocalypse.
Which, yeah, what's new in the zombie apocalypse front? And we all know it's coming.
Yes. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen the movie I Am Legend. That's probably the best example and the best...
Which is too bad.
Yeah, unfortunately. Basically, at the beginning of that movie, you see a news clip of a doctor who's apparently found the cure for cancer, which is using a virus to attack the cancer cells.
Which on the surface looks great.
It does.
Like, viruses attack cells. Cancer is cells.
So why not have it kill off certain cells?
Right?
And it makes perfect sense. It is very interesting. And they've pretty much done it. Now, this is great news because it's great news for cancer treatments. I mean, anything that has the ability to attack just the cells themselves without killing off other cells.
It's the targeting that's what, like, chemotherapy kills a lot of cells.
It basically kills everything.
Which is why your immune system weakens, you lose your hair, all these things are side effects because they need to get the cancer cells, but
It's
they
shooting
can't
a
not
shotgun
get
at
the
it.
rest. Exactly.
Radiation, the same thing. It's more focused,
Yeah.
but it does damage other cells.
Now this is more selective?
Very much so. Basically, the virus is being programmed to attack certain. There's the cancer cells have a certain signal and a certain hormone and enzyme signal that's sent out because it has to, of course, integrate with the body itself. A cancer growth cannot continue to flourish if it doesn't have a steady supply of blood and oxygen. But you usually can just kill them by cutting off that, but they sometimes regrow it, as most other cells would. It heals. With this virus, though, what it would do is it would go and attack that and shut down that ability, and also just kill the cell in the process, damaging...
cut off its life support and say,
Exactly.
yeah, you can hang out in my body, but you can't breathe.
Exactly. So the cells get destroyed, and eventually whether it gets removed because it can't disintegrate into the body or be reintegrated.
Okay, now so that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What's the downside here?
Downside is, if anyone else has also watched that movie, I Am Legend, the fact of the matter was that didn't work out too well.
Okay, now what's the downside in this story?
The downside in the story is that they're not sure if the actual virus is going to just attack the cells.
Okay.
It's gotten close.
So they've
the
kind of done
targeting
the whole
system-
petri dish thing.
Yes.
And now they're like, what's going to happen when we put this in a person?
Yeah. They found that it's working in rats and it's working in mice, of course. But as history does tell us, translation from rat to human is not always perfect. However, it's a step, and this is a great step. Just my note, of course, to add in a less serious manner, of course, is try not to create this stupid zombie apocalypse of monsters and mutations from this stupid virus, please. This is a great thing. Let's try and keep it good. Positive thoughts. But otherwise, that's actually all I have for this week for our science segment, or Mad Science segment. And basically, once again, coming to you from the wonderful super secret science base, Scott with his modest pile of hat, and me with my noble amassment of hat.
And Quinn
without his hat.
Rage virus. Rah.
Have a good night.
Welcome to Lull of the Week. But unfortunately, even though we took a break last week, we still couldn't find something funny to show you. So instead, blinking cups. Huh? Huh? Blinking cup. Look at them. They're blinking. They're blinking. You don't like it?
Too bad.
Fine. You know what you get instead? Scott's also awesome beer review.
All right. This week, I'm talking about Pilsner Urquell. That might be said really wrong. I don't really
Probably.
care. It is the original Pilsner from Pilsen. I didn't know they came from there. Learn something new every day.
Pilsen is a place?
Apparently.
Oh.
Brewed in the Czech Republic.
I think that's made up just so they can put it on the beer.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know my Czech geography very well.
However, if you do know where Pilsen is, you can email us and point it to a map. Because we're far too lazy to use
I might
maps.
look. So this is a Pilsner. I'm not a huge Pilsner drinker usually. I like my ales. I like my lagers. I'm a very big Canadian. So it was good. I liked it. It does have that distinctive Pilsner taste. If you've had one before, you'll know what it is. It's good. I would recommend it. Rating out of a 2 for 17 in one warm beer.
All right.
I think. Yeah. Don't let it warm up. It got really foul over the night. But cold, it was delicious.
Well, that wraps up our show this week. If you want to get information, you can always press the little squiggly key on the keyboard in order to be able to get more information. Just like that.
And get our.
If you do that at home, this will happen. I swear to God.
It will pop up in real life.
Swear to God. But, if you just want to contact us the normal way, you can reach us on Twitter at almost_Friday.
Or
Follow
you-
us for updates and news and when we tell you we're taking a break because we're really lazy.
Yeah, it happens. Or you can email us complaints, comments. You can tell me where Pilsen is.
Yeah.
Contact at almostfridayshow.com. And always, if you want to find the show notes we talk about all the time, if you want to find older episodes, you want to check out some of our sponsors, you can go to almostfridayshow.com.
If you want to be on the show, go to Pilsen, take a picture of yourself in Pilsen, and you can come on the show.
Guaranteed.
And realistically, if you just want to come on the show anyways, we're always down for people, so
Yeah.
send us an email. If you got some crazy product or some crazy thing you want to talk about,
We're getting.
variety, that's what we're about.
Let's do it.
But until next time, make sure to keep those Canon lenses fresh by pouring orange juice into them. Always.